I am lying here on my bed right now, trying to rest as I have been throughout the evening with the lights off, quietly watching YouTube videos on my phone. And throughout the entire evening, starting at approximately 6:30 p.m., there has been someone in the bathroom with 78 directly behind my kitchen sink, smoking or burning and propagating sickening, overpowering, and intense amounts of cigar smoke. It literally smells like a burning dumpster on fire. And the smoke has been so bad that I've had to open my window and keep it wide open, even though it's approximately 47 degrees outside and it is not warm. There's no heat in this unit. The baseboards are cold. There's absolutely no warmth in any of the pipes that run along the baseboards of this unit. But I've had to keep the window open because there's someone in the bathroom of 78, and they've been doxing their physical presence in that bathroom by making banging noises against the very bottom of the back of my sink. And at the same time, the water has been so oily, thick, and slimy that I've had to run it to try to get out the contamination and oil and grease that is in that water that is preventing me from being able to use it to fill up water bottles and to do some hand washing laundry in my sink. I hand wash most of my shirts and socks and small items in a tub in my sink. And as soon as I start filling up that tub or trying to fill up water bottles to drink, the water becomes super thick, oily, and slimy. And there's someone in the bathroom of 78 deliberately making banging noises against the back of my sink and smoking and propagating intense amounts of cigar smoke that are filling my unit to the point where I've had to open my window approximately 2 feet and keep it open, even though it is pretty chilly out. There is a beautiful moon right now, but I really don't feel like dealing with the cold and having a wide open window where sometimes rodents like to come into the window from outside. They live in the little cracks of the bricks on the side of the building, and then they come in through the open window. And then you have to keep the window open to let them come back out. There's also been the same psychopath, Irizarry, the hate-stalking career asswipe, who has once again resumed her use of some type of directed energy device to electronically assault me throughout the evening while I've been lying on my bed trying to rest. That happened between 6:30 and 7:30 this evening when I shut off my phone and lay on my back to try to sleep. This always happens when I lie on my back facing the ceiling and try to take a nap. Irizarry, the psycho scum surveillance expert, according to multiple staffers at the Greenville Group, who have admitted that she is their surveillance expert and have referred to her as their surveillance expert, gets a little bit agitated when I lie on my back facing the ceiling and try to take a nap, usually in the early evening. That is always when it happens. Between 6:30 and 8:30, if I go down for a nap, she gets all agitated, starts smoking and burning sickening amounts of marijuana or cigar smoke from behind the wall of the vacant premises of her former bathroom. It is very important to note that the bathroom of Unit 78 has been unrented and vacant for 2 years, along with the rest of Unit 78, obviously, because the Greenville Group is a shady, sketchy Russian mafia slumlord that keeps a large unit with its own bathroom permanently vacant and empty for 2 years while claiming that I owe them rent for a unit where they are permitting a psychopath to access the adjacent bathroom and engage in constant harassment and surveillance-based aggression using a combination of wall banging and smacking, propagation of intense amounts of sickening smoke, and the use of a directed energy device, which Irizarry themselves have admitted to using on social media in writing, claiming that she's not using it that high. Okay, so, when the same psychopath that you keep saying is using a directed energy device admits to using a directed energy device, saying that it's really not that high or it's not that hard, meaning she's not using it that hard, then you're right. She's also admitted to contaminating the water to my kitchen tap, saying that she's not using a saddle valve. but that I should enjoy the boogers in my hair, and she's a structural engineer, according to her, who gets paid to solve problems. That goes exactly along with what Oleg Alisiev, the property manager, has bragged to me on multiple occasions about Jasmine Irizarry, the career psychopath and hate-stalking asswipe who doesn't leave the premises of the vacant bathroom of Unit 78 because she's a mentally disturbed hate stalker who obsessively harasses other women, because Irizarry herself is a hideous piece of shit that has serious jealousy problems with other women. You combine the jealousy with the psychopathology of a antisocial personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, narcissistic personality disorder, carrying asswipe, as Irizarry verifiably is. And then you have a very dangerous individual on your hands that won't leave you alone. And that's been happening throughout the evening tonight. I have a PhD level education in clinical developmental psychology, and my thesis for my PhD program was published and presented at a national convention of the American Psychological Association and was selected for presentation. So I do have some pretty high ranking credibility and credits in the field of developmental psychology that allow me to be able to say what I'm saying right now. I also have a bachelor's degree in biological sciences, concentrating in pre-med and pre-medical sciences, meaning I had to take 3 years of chemistry, biochemistry, physics, and biology. And when the water to my kitchen tap suddenly becomes thick, oily, slimy, stinking, and brown, there's a brownish tint to it, which maintenance has even noted, then you know that what you're dealing with is not water. It is contamination with water in it. Oil and slime are not water. Thick grease is not water. So when the substance coming out of your tap is thick, oily, and slimy and has a foul stench to it, then it's not water. Any basic 4-year biology degree will teach you that. So what I'm dealing with, what I'm trying to fill my water bottles with right now is not water. And the smoke and the directed energy device that Irizarry has been using from the bathroom of 78 over the last few hours have affected my voice to the point where I'm having a hard time talking and my voice is raspy and I sound like a smoker, even though I have never smoked anything in my life aside from some marijuana in college. Everybody smokes pot in college. And I should not sound like a smoker when I do not smoke and never have, right? I've never been a smoker. Have I smoked marijuana on occasion? Yeah, in my 20s. I don't like pot. It puts me to sleep. So I stopped smoking it after the college years. The psycho circus of the Greenville Group's DMH, BLM, hate stalking tenants never ends. Because in this building, DMH is BLM. Department of Mental Health placements have nothing else to do, and so they hate stalk people who don't look like them.
If this is an emergency, please press 1. Otherwise, press 2 to leave a voicemail for the front office.
Claiming that they're BLM activists when they're really just hate stalkers.
Invalid input. Please try again.
Hello, you've reached the Greenville Real Estate Group. Our office hours are from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Our office is currently closed. After the tone, please leave a detailed message with your name and number so we may get back to you when we return.
Hi there. It's right around 10:45 p.m. on Tuesday, November 19th, 2024. And I'm calling from Unit 89 to report that Jasmine Irizarry, the DMH psychopath that you've been employing as basically a paid career harasser over the last few years, is continually accessing the vacant premises of her former unit, Unit 78, located directly behind the wall of my kitchen sink. And she engages in the same exact pattern of really disruptive, harmful, aggressive behavior directly against the wall behind my kitchen sink now, as she did during the 10 years that you verifiably housed her and placed her in Unit 78. And over the last 4 hours, Jasmine Irizarry, your paid and sponsored psychopath, has been deliberately using a directed energy device to electronically assault me while I've been lying on my bed face up trying to take a nap between 6:30 and 7:30 this evening. And she always does it at the same time in the evening when I try to take a nap and lie on my bed facing the ceiling. Obviously, she has some kind of an issue with me lying on my bed facing the ceiling sometime between 6 and 8 p.m. This always happens between 6 and 8 p.m. And she at the same time propagates large amounts of cigar smoke or marijuana smoke from behind the wall of her bathroom that does not come from the hallway, that fills my entire kitchen area and the area around my windows. So I have to keep the window open, and I've had to keep my window open 2 feet throughout the entire evening, even though it is cold outside and there is no heat in Unit 89. There has not been heat in Unit 89 at all throughout this entire season so far. But I do have to keep that window open because there's no other way to ventilate my unit from the nonstop cigar smoke that Irizarry, your hate-stalking reject, keeps propagating from the vacant, permanently unrented premises of her former bathroom. At the same time, I have to run the water to my tap because that water has been extremely thick, oily, and slimy over the last couple of hours while I've been trying to use it to fill water bottles and to fill a wash tub so I can wash some small clothing items in there. These are all breaches of the warranty of habitability and violations of the lease, and I will be following up with a written notification to you and your attorneys.
Followed by the pound key.
We may get back to you when we return.
Let's try this again. Hi there. It's 10:45 p.m. on Tuesday, November 19th, 2024. I'm calling from Unit 89 to report that there has been Irizarry, your psycho scum, asswipe, hate stalker, sitting in the bathroom of 78 throughout the entire evening since approximately 6 o'clock this evening. And Irizarry has been engaging over the last 4 hours in the same exact pattern of aggressive, harmful, surveillance-based harassment as she has been doing for the 10 years that you've been housing her at the 5 Union Ave building. 9 of those 10 years have been in Unit 78, and over the last 1.5 to 2 years, you appear to have been housing her on a different floor of this same building, where she is continually able to access the permanently unrented, vacant premises of her former unit that is located directly behind my kitchen sink. And over the last few hours, while I've been quietly lying on my bed, trying to rest with the lights off and lying on my back, Jasmine Irizarry, your admitted surveillance expert and structural engineer, has been using a directed energy device to electronically assault me while I've been lying on my bed, trying to rest quietly in the dark, lying on my back. She always does this when I'm lying on my back facing the ceiling, and this is obviously based on some type of surveillance devices that you are permitting Irizarry to use around the area of my bed. She has also been deliberately propagating overpowering and intense amounts of cigar smoke from behind the wall of my kitchen sink, which is the bathroom of Unit 78 that you guys are continually permitting her to access because you're keeping that unit vacant and empty on a long-term basis. And Irizarry is then free to engage in the same exact pattern of wall banging and smoke propagation from behind my kitchen sink now as she did during the 10 years that you housed her in that unit. There's also an intensely thick, oily, slimy, greasy residue in the water that is coming out of my kitchen tap. So I've had to run the water to try to flush out the thick, oily, greasy contamination that keeps leaching into the water to my kitchen tap. That always happens when Irizarry is smacking the wall behind my kitchen sink and doxing her presence by propagating intense and sickening amounts of cigar smoke into my living space. I've had to keep my window open 2 feet for the last 4 hours now because the smoke from the bathroom of 78 has been filling my entire bedside area, and it is affecting my voice to the point where I sound like a smoker when I talk, and I have never been a smoker. This is a violation of the lease, and it is also a violation of the warranty of habitability. I will be following up with a written notification to you and your attorneys, and I am recording this voicemail for legal purposes. Right now, I have been unable to lie on my bed and rest for the last 4 hours because your psychopath for hire, Jasmine Irizarry, is being permitted to continue to access the vacant premises of the bathroom behind my kitchen sink, where she then engages in nonstop surveillance-based aggression and harassment that you guys have admitted that she's doing and that she has admitted in writing to doing on social media. I have screenshots of her comments about her use of a directed energy device. If you have any questions, you know my phone number. I am recording this voicemail. Thank you.